They called me too expensive. They called me overqualified for the salary band. They asked if I considered early retirement options. I was 47 years old, and they wanted someone making $75,000 a year instead of $180,000. So they fired me in 17 minutes. One problem: I owned the patent to the algorithm they were about to license for $47 million. I worked in product development at a Fortune 500 tech company. Good money. Great benefits and pension plan, 12 years in. Around year 10, the culture shifted. Move fast and break things became the motto. We don't care about careful, experienced work. Startup energy became the recruitment pitch. We want young people who cost less. Suddenly, the 45 and over crowd started disappearing. Early retirement packages. Restructuring initiatives. Translation? We're cutting older, more expensive employees. I watched it happen to colleagues. I thought I was too embedded in key projects. I was wrong. My final project was massive. A new compression algorithm that could revolutionize data storage. Genuine breakthrough technology. 14 months of nights and weekends. I worked with 2 younger engineers who did 30% of the work. I did 70%. I filed the initial patent application with my name as primary inventor. Company policy was clear. Individual innovations may be registered to the inventor. The company retains commercial rights. The inventor retains inventor status. I filed it, my name. Primary inventor. I didn't think much of it. I was just following process. Then came the meeting. My manager, 2 HR people, a legal representative, conference room. They said, "We're going in a different direction strategically. Your experience and expertise would be better suited for consulting roles outside the organization. You're fired." They offered severance with one condition: sign a non-compete and waive any claims. 17 minutes. That's how long it took to end 12 years of work. But here's what they didn't mention. That compression algorithm I invented? They were about to pitch it to their biggest client in 6 days. Worth tens of millions in licensing fees. My algorithm. My name on the patent. I didn't sign anything that day. I asked for 48 hours to review with a lawyer. They said fine. I called an IP attorney I knew. Explained everything. She got very quiet. Then asked, "Do you have the patent application with your name as primary inventor?" I did. She said, "That changes everything." That document, the one I filed following company policy, suddenly meant something completely different. I wasn't just a fired employee. I was the legal owner of intellectual property the company was about to make millions with. My lawyer sent the company a letter, factual. Our client is the primary inventor on patent application 10,847,392 for adaptive data compression technology. While the company has certain commercial rights per employment agreements, the core intellectual property remains the property of the inventor. Any commercial use, licensing, or derivative work requires compensation to the inventor. They had 48 hours to respond. They had a client presentation in 6 days. I watched the panic unfold on LinkedIn. People from the company suddenly tried connecting with me. Old colleagues started texting asking if I was okay. The company's general counsel called my lawyer directly. The conversation was short. "We need to discuss the patent situation." My lawyer: "What did you have in mind?" Silence. Then, "What does your client want?" Here's what nobody tells you. When you have leverage backed by law, the power dynamic flips. Not because I was angry. Because I understood the system and had documentation to back it up. I didn't want reinstatement. I didn't want an apology. I wanted 3 things. First, full compensation for the patent license. We negotiated $2.3 million upfront. Second, a consulting contract at my previous salary rate, $180,000 per year, renewable annually for 5 years, available for technical guidance on the algorithm implementation. Third, written acknowledgement that they violated the patent agreement, for documentation. They agreed to all 3 within 72 hours. The algorithm launched. My patent license brought me more money in year 1 than I'd made in salary in my last 3 years employed. That's over $500,000 in patent royalties on top of base consulting fees. The consulting contract gave me flexibility to work with other companies. And suddenly I wasn't too old. I was a strategic technology advisor. The same people who pushed me out now scheduled calls asking for my expertise. My calendar filled up. My phone rang constantly. Companies were paying me $450 per hour for technical consulting. Here's what's crazy: I didn't get justice through anger. I got it through understanding the system. The company thought they could push out an aging employee and use his work for profit. They didn't think about patents because they weren't patent lawyers. They thought about headcount reduction. That's their expertise. I did the opposite. I thought like an IP lawyer. I understood what I owned. I understood what the law said. I understood my leverage. The two younger engineers came to me afterward. Said the company was offering them special projects with bonuses. The company wanted to keep them quiet now that they knew they'd be dependent on me. One asked, "Why didn't you tell us about the patent?" I said, "Because it was my work first. I had to protect what was mine." He understood. He said, "Smart move." That's the thing about quiet wins. People respect them. They understand the strategy. They don't think you're bitter. They think you're smart. Within 6 months of being fired, I was making more money with more flexibility and more influence over that technology than when I was employed. The company's competitive advantage became dependent on me, not because I sought revenge, because I understood the value of what I created and refused to let it be stolen. I went from $180,000 a year salary to over $1 million in combined income within 12 months. Here's the lesson. If you're creating genuine, measurable, innovative value at your job, protect it. File for patents if you can. Keep records. Document your work. Understand your intellectual property rights. Companies will always try to extract maximum value from employees while paying minimum cost. But if that value has legal protection, the power dynamic shifts completely. The conversation changes. Suddenly, you're not an employee they can discard. You're an asset they need. I'm 51 now, still consulting for that same company. Still working with others. Still inventing. Age wasn't my liability. It was their biggest mistake. Because they assumed experience made me expendable. What they didn't realize was that experience is what taught me to protect my own intellectual property. And that protection was worth over $1 million, more than my original salary ever was. What I want you to really understand, what you create has legal value. Your innovation has legal protection. Your work product belongs to you if it's properly documented and filed. Most people don't know this. Most people think everything they create belongs to the company. It doesn't. Not if you follow the process. Not if you file the paperwork. Not if you understand your rights. Have you ever been pushed out for reasons that didn't make sense? Have you ever created something valuable and watched someone else profit from it? Have you signed away your rights without understanding what they were worth? Drop a comment. Tell me your story. I read every single one. And if you want more stories about protecting what's yours, about quiet strategies that win against corporate systems, about turning the tables through preparation instead of confrontation, hit subscribe. New videos every Monday and Thursday.